Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I want to go over a budget-friendly frame pack. So if you're looking to do an elk hunt or some other out west hunt, or if you're just looking for something for hiking, backpacking, camping, this is the Moxule Pro, and it's a pretty sweet pack that I want to show you guys. Just kind of the pocket layout, specs and features of it, and then the three things I really like that this Moxule pack does that my Sitka pack does not. So stay tuned. All right, everybody, before we dive into the review and kind of go over my first impressions of the Moxule Pro Series pack, just want to be perfectly transparent with you that Moxule did send me this pack for free to test out for them, as well as do this review video for you guys. So thank you, Moxule, for sending me this. And the pack that I picked, they basically gave me the option of what size I wanted. So this Pro Series pack is going to come in a 2400 cubic inch, 3600 cubic inch, and 5000 cubic inch. So I already have a Sitka hauler that's a 6200 cubic inch pack that I took out west elk hunting 2 years ago. So I wanted something a little bit smaller. I wanted the medium size one. So this one that I'm going to show you guys is the 3600 pack. I also wanted something that was going to be a good size and comfortable for my wife to use. So when we do some camping, backpacking, or hopefully eventually some family western hunts, this is going to be a really good size for her. So now that we got that out of the way, I'm going to flip the camera around and we're going to go through all the pockets and the layout of the pack. Before we start unzipping stuff, here is just kind of a quick overall look at the Moxule Pro 3600. What you guys will notice, like most frame packs, tons of adjustability. Whether it's your straps, whether it's how much you need to expand or cinch down the pack, it's got all of that. If we flip over first to the backside, it's got some really nice padding all through your waist belt as well as up here on your shoulder straps. My wife used this for a full day when we were walking around our farm. She loved it. She said it was really comfortable. Granted, we didn't have this super weighted down or anything like that, but comfort-wise, both of us really like it. On the waist belt, you've got two pockets on each side, zipper pockets. These I like just for carrying everyday stuff, little things. Maybe it's your power bank and a phone charger. Maybe it's a call or multiple calls, things like that. Those are really easy access pockets right there on the waist belt. One thing I also really like, you've got two big bungee pouches here on the side. These are perfect for like a Nalgene or a big water bottle. That's what I had in my Sitka pack in one of these when we were out west. I almost always had one Nalgene in a bungee pack on the side and then a water bladder on the inside. And this is also, you guys, water bladder compatible. You can route your water bladders right down through the pack and have your, your Camelback style hose coming out to drink. Top hat has got two pretty good sized pockets. They're separated, which I really like on packs when I have less big wide open space and some more segregated stuff just to help me organize. So I like that the top hat has these two good sized pockets here that you can put whatever you want in. And I'll explain something on the top hat here in a minute. That is one of the things I really like that this has that my Sitka pack does not. So if we open the top hat up, you guys are going to see your big main pocket, that or big main like area that's going to have the bungee style drawstring like most packs have. Right here, you've got this. Hopefully you guys can see. I'm just going to kind of start sticking the camera in here. You've got this kind of bungee style like pouch to the side. This is going to be perfect for your water bladder that you can then route out through the pack. On the inside, and hopefully you guys can see this, we'll get a good view of the main pouch or main whatever area. I keep saying pouch, but it's got these two smaller like mesh zipper pockets right here. This I really like for just helping me organize stuff. The more kind of multi-purpose or segregation of pockets and stuff that I can have, the better. And so these being a pretty good size in the main pouch, I really like this. On the outside, you're going to have one exterior area that is separate from the main, and it zips open. and gives you another area to put some maybe smaller items. It's a pretty good size area though. And again, you've got another mesh separated zipper pocket here on the inside of that one. If you go to the next, what might seem like an additional external or an additional like separate area, this right here is your opening, like a central opening to your main, area, your main pocket. Let's undo these real quick and that'll be easier for me to show you guys. So if you zip this part open, here's your access to your whole big area and easy access to those two zipper pockets on the inside. So this I really like, not only to help me pack this pack with whatever it is that I'm taking, but also just give me some really easy access to stuff throughout, like the entire pack. Like when you guys get this thing all packed up, sometimes it's tough if you need to access stuff at the bottom and you've got a whole bunch of stuff in here to get to it. Being able to zip this open and basically have access top to bottom from the middle of the pack, as well as these two zipper pouches, that's perfect for layout. If you unzip this bottom one, so on my Sitka Mountain Hauler, this gives me access to the bottom of the pack, which on this Moxule one, this is one thing that I like, that I've got mid access. When I open this one up, I've got a basically big area extension. So that is just extending my main, volume of the pack down out the bottom and gives me more room to put stuff. So it's like an expander. And I'm not 100% sure if the 36 cubic inch or 3600 cubic inch volume includes that expansion. I'm guessing it does, or if that's in addition to the 3600 cubic inches. I'm going to shoot Moxule an email to just kind of clarify that, and I can post that in the comments. But I like, instead of having bottom access and top access, that I've got middle access and then I've got expansion on the bottom side. There's one more zipper pocket down here on the bottom, and what that's going to do, let's see if I can get it open here going one-handed. This isn't necessarily a storage area, but what this has in it is it has a basically a bottom kind of sling for your firearm, so you can clip this onto the pack. You can adjust it however you need to, and then the buttstock of your weapon will go in here and you can strap the rest of the weapon to the outside of your pack. So that's one thing that's in there. You can also just leave that attached. I took it off just because when we were hiking around, I didn't have a firearm or anything with me, so it was just kind of bouncing around. But then also in here is a big rain pouch. So even though this pack is 500D nylon and the pack is waterproof, if it's a really heavy downpour, you might want to bust that out. You can wrap the entire, backpack up in it, cinch it down really good to keep all your stuff nice and dry. All right, so now I want to talk about I guess now there's actually 4 things. I just thought of one while filming this. The now 4 things that I like that the Moxule Pro 3600 does that my Sitka pack does not. And I am by no means bashing my Sitka pack. That thing performed awesome for me out in the mountains of Colorado when we were elk hunting. But there's just some things that I notice now, having owned that pack, having hunted out in the mountains, and then having now this pack to do a comparison to. So the 2 big ones for me are the meat shelf. So the meat shelf in my Sitka pack is an interior one. So the main, portion of the pack does not separate from the frame. This one, the meat shelf, is intended to be exterior. So basically it's a shelf between the frame and your backpack portion of it. You can adjust that. So you can put stuff in between the pack and the frame. And that not only goes for if you're hauling, a load of meat out after harvesting an animal, that also goes for, even this being a 3600 cubic inch pack, you've actually got storage space for things like maybe it's your tent, maybe it's your sleeping bag rolled up kind of tight. Like there are some kind of bigger items that you could layer between your frame and your pack and save some of that other volume for your food, your extra clothes, things like that. So the fact that you can do that with this pack kind of makes me believe, even though the volume of it is 3,600 cubic inches, what you can actually kind of integrate into the pack is probably far more. I honestly think, even though my Sitka pack was bigger, I think I could have gotten away with a pack of this size, having that kind of modularity, if you will, between the frame and the main volume. I think I could have gotten away with everything I put in that pack with this one. And that was a 8-day elk hunt. So we had a lot of gear. The other big thing that I really like is that this has a removable top hat that you can then convert into a day pack. So just like you can have space between the frame and the main pack for meat or extra gear, you can also take off this main pack and you can also take off the main pack and have just the top hat go on the frame as a day pack, which is awesome. So my Sitka pack does not do that. I basically had it, cinched way down for a day pack and just use the entire thing, which was totally fine, but it was just also a lot of extra space and a little bit extra bulk that if I could have separated my top hat from my main and just ran with the top hat and the frame as a day pack, I would have been totally fine. I would have just put my my phone charger, my first aid kit, and my food for the day in this, and then if I needed extra space for like shedding a layer of clothes or taking an extra layer, I would have just cinched that down between the top hat and the frame, and I would have been totally fine. And then obviously I'm still good with hauling meat out with the frame. So I really like that this is a modular system. That's just something, it's got features like that my Sitka one does not. The other thing I already touched on, you guys, was the mid access and then bottom expansion. The Sitka pack that I had top access, bottom access, lots of space, but didn't have that mid. I like the mid with those zipper pockets. I just think it's a little bit better layout for how I would like to organize stuff. And then the fourth thing I thought of was these bungee side pockets for a thing like a Nalgene or another water bottle or whatever. These just seem a little bigger, a little deeper, where not that my Nalgene didn't fit in my Sitka side pouch like that, but I kind of had to jam it in there, especially when, this pack is like fully loaded and stuff. So these just, to me, I haven't necessarily like tried it with the pack fully loaded and stuff, but these to me just seem like a little bit bigger, a little bit more just space for me to stick that Nalgene in. So overall, you guys, I obviously have not taken this out to the mountains and hunted with it. So I can't necessarily speak to it in terms of in an actual hunt, or it's like durability or it's waterproof aspects and things like that, just because I haven't actually hunted with it. But I have worn it around our farm. My wife has worn it around our farm. There's nothing that I see that is glaring to me that would give me reservation in taking this out into the mountains. Just like my Sitka one. It's not like I beat the crap out of that thing or anything like that. It performed perfectly fine for an 8-day, all, camping in the mountains elk hunt. And from what I see with this and just kind of like the perception of quality, how well the material feels, how they laid things out. It's got YKK zippers. It's got 500D waterproof nylon. It's got all the stuff. I would have no hesitation taking this pack out into the mountains for my next elk hunt, hopefully coming up in the near future. The big other thing is the price on this. So I can't remember what, I paid probably $600-ish for that Sitka Mountain Hauler pack. Depending on the size that you get with these packs and kind of depending on the sales and stuff that Moxule has, you're going to be looking at more in the $300 range for a pack like this. So if budget's tight, if you're looking for something a little more budget friendly, this is an option you guys should probably take a look at. There's lots of packs out there, and there are lots of really good ones, and there are different ways different packs do things, different organization. You might have to, check out quite a few of them. Or if you're like me, sometimes these packs are hard to get their hands on. If your buddies don't have them, if a lot of times retailers don't have them. So if you're unsure and you're just not wanting to spend a ton of money on your first pack or an upgraded pack, and you like what you see here in this demonstration, again, I would have no issue taking this pack out to the mountains based on my experience and how my other pack performs. So if you guys are looking for a pack like this, check out the link down below in the description to the Moxule Pro Series. They've got 3 different sizes, and again, it's a really great budget-friendly option for your next Western hunt, your next backpacking trip, or your next camping trip. So that's what I got for you guys today. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do me a favor, hit that like button down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. If you're looking for some more Dragon Deer Outdoors content, check out one of these 2 videos right here. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. Be safe, God bless, and remember, be a sportsman, make a sportsman.